between high school and now. I have a mysterious classmate who hangs around me. The first time he told me this was during my first year of high school. It was right after summer vacation. I was suddenly asked by a guy in my class, "Do you know Itou?" I was like, "Itou? I don't know him." He said, "What are you talking about? He's in your class, right? He's a friend from your hometown, right?" "No, I don't know him." A few days later, "You know Itou, right? I heard he was good friends with you." I told you, "I don't know him. Don't play dumb with me." "What? There is no one like that." So we got into a fight. The guy says I'm heartless. He said I was someone who knew someone he didn't know. I was so angry that I snapped. Well, I was young, so I had a lot of blood on my hands. Still, the guy in my class was unusually pissed off. I went home. And checked my graduation album from elementary school. There was no Itou after all. I never spoke to him again. I never spoke to him again after that. And he transferred to a different school. I was left with a weird feeling of resentment, but I forgot Itou's name for a while. Then, when I was in the second year of high school, I heard the Itou's name again. This time it was a guy in the next class with whom I was in a club. He said, "Hey, do you know Itou? He's in the same junior high school as you, right?" "No, I don't know him." "I don't know." "Well, he was in the same club with you. He said he was in the same club with you for 3 years. "What? I don't know how you two know each other. Tell me what kind of acquaintance you have." It had been a while since I heard that name, and it reminded me of something unpleasant. I wanted to know who he was, so I asked him for more details. "She's a girl, short. A friend of a friend. I went to karaoke with her the other day." "No, I don't know her. If she's a girl, I don't know her." "Really? I'm going to bring him in." "Itou, I really know a lot about you." That's when I got scared. I really don't know her, no matter how much I try to remember. I didn't know her. I've heard of her before. I had never met anyone named Itou in my school. A few days later, "Ms. Itou, the guy the first tried to get you to meet. I heard he disappeared." "What? Why?" "I don't know. He suddenly abandoned his house. It was like he ran away in the night." Next, Itou shows up in an unexpected place. A friend of mine in my hometown said to me, "Hey, did Itou have any classmates?" "No." "Do you know her?" "Did they say, do you know her?" "You too." It became a topic of conversation in our local group. Some funny guy named Itou said he knew us. It wasn't just me. It spread to my friends in the area. 3 of us had the same experience. All 3 were in different high schools. And all 3 had heard the same story from completely different friends. That's scary. Seriously, who's Itou? I want to hear it. I asked everyone about it at the reunion. No one knew. But of all the guys I couldn't get in touch with, I think there might have been a guy whose last name was Itou, but I couldn't confirm that either. Then, about 6 months later, I was in the middle of a conversation with a cousin I had known since childhood. "Hey, do you know Itou?" I was horrified. It was the usual Itou story. She was a short girl. She was in the same club as me. Itou was a good friend of mine. My cousin knew me well. "There is no Itou, is there?" "Itou? No. For the next few years, Itou disappeared. Itou was not there. Itou had become an existence that remained only in a corner of my mind. I was about to graduate from college, and I was at my part-time job. I was about to graduate from college, and I asked Itou, "Hey, do you know Itou?" I almost collapsed on the spot. A short girl in the same club as me. Yeah, I knew her. Are you still in touch with her? Yeah, we knew each other in high school. He's the same age as me. If you knew her in high school. Itou was supposed to be missing then. Hey, now. Can you get in touch with her? Yeah, I can. Itou said he wanted to have a drink sometime. Just in time. I hear Itou's voice on the other end of the cell phone. Hello. I'm Itou's voice is faint, but I can hear her. It's a real person. Sorry, Itou hung up on me because he said he wasn't feeling well. I'll talk to you next time. Next time I'll talk to Itou. The next time I went to my part-time job. The next time I went to my part-time job, the guy who said he knew Itou suddenly changed his attitude. No matter what I tried to say to her, he just shut me out. It was like he was lightly bullying me. For some reason, the guys at my part-timer's workplace were shunning me. On my way home that day, the manager told me I was fired. I complained, but he said, "I'm sorry, but please don't come back here for a while." I complained, but the manager insisted, "I'm sorry, but please don't come here for a while." When I came to my senses, the place I was working at had gone out of business. In the end, I lost contact with Itou. The guy in my class who first talked to me about Itou was also gone. The next guy in my club was also expelled from school. I became estranged from all three of my classmates. I never heard good things about any of them. I am not completely sure what happened to them now. My cousin also became mentally ill after that. I am not in a position to talk about it now. In the end, I guess I never found out what happened to Itou. Then, last week, she said to me, "Do you know Itou?" Itou might still be hanging around me.